Said this was today, right?
Yeah, I said, at the current rate of the RAM shortage, gold will someday become cheaper than RAM.
I hate how true that is.
And then Ramin, former podcast guest, commented on my YouTube community post about this. Average compensation in 2050. Yo, how rich are you? I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Oh my god, you're richer than Elon Musk! Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Macker from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha Wolf.
And now that the big cat is back home, and now that one of the mice is not having IT issues, and now the big cat no longer has COVID-19, which I was actually just coming down with that last week. I did.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't have to mention it because it didn't really affect my voice, but in my YouTube videos. But yeah, no, I got pretty lightheaded at Waffle House that day, so...
Yeah, I can see how that's annoying.
Yeah, shall I move on to a TIFP tradition that we're glad is back?
Oh, yes. I'm trying to remember whose is it.
I think it's yours.
Is it mine or yours?
I somehow don't have any idiot award nominations.
Oh, yep, it is mine. It is mine.
Let's go.
So, on my Equinox review, the gas one, because I reviewed both the gas and the electric. On the gas Equinox review, I got this commenter saying, your review for a car was detailed, but your personal opinion should have been left out. You don't even like SUVs, so go review something that nobody wants to hear your... Does this guy not know grammar or periods? Because this is so strange to read. Let's see. Yeah, but your personal opinion should have been left out. You don't even like SUVs, so go review something else. Nobody wants to hear your negative dislikes. That's not a review.
That is actually part of a review.
Yeah, dislikes do make up a review, but I'd also like to... I like calling that a caveat or a disclaimer. What else? Yeah. I liked watching No Difference. I think it's supposed to be, it's like, gosh, this guy has no grammar at all. It's like I liked watching No Difference Than a Pastor preaching outside the Bible. Stick to facts, not your preference.
That is nothing like a pastor.
What did I state?
That is nothing like a pastor preaching outside the Bible.
Stick to fact. What? Did I not explain any facts?
I mean, granted...
Is the engine being undersized for the vehicle, causing low power output and potential reliability problems? Is that not a fact?
Also, every review has an opinion. I should know this as I make reviews on YouTube.
Yeah, to find an unbiased reviewer, if that's what this guy's looking for, you're not going to find one. Those don't exist. Everyone has biases and preferences. And that is why at the very beginning of all of my crossover reviews, I am always upfront about my bias against crossovers.
Exactly. You're doing the right thing, so it shouldn't be blamed for him. But shall we move on to questionable activities?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming.
So Tim Cook warned about price hikes of some Apple devices, and some Apple devices have received price hikes. So let's go ahead and let's look at their MKBHD's list to see all the Apple devices that have received price hikes.
So far, I just saw the two.
No.
I'm trying to load up the Apple Store
so
right
it's
now.
Okay, so the MacBook Neo rose from $600 to $700. The MacBook Air has... Ooh, the MacBook Air got a price hike again from $1,100 to $1,300.
Ow! That's
The MacBook
that's a surprisingly big one.
Yeah, exactly, because Apple's RAM prices we're finally starting to get reasonable, but yeah, still, I guess they gotta stay on reason somehow. But MacBook Pro, $1,700 to now $2,000. This is for the not real MacBook Pro, mind you. Mac Studio, $2,000 to $2,500. iPad Air, $600 to $750. iPad Pro.
What's the iMac at?
$1,000 to $1,200. There's other.
Oh my goodness! And wow. That is oh gosh, what's the Mac Mini at? Oof, $800.
Oh, so
jeez.
The Apple TV has also received a price hike by $70. HomePod $50, HomePod Mini $30, and yes, or iMac $200 price increase. Oh, do you want to guess the stupidest price hike of all? Mind you, they're not even making these right now. They hiked the Vision Pro by $200.
That just sucks. Because I mean, I'll point out, for most of these products, we've seen that type of pricing before. Like the Mac Mini, it used to initially start at $800. I remember that's what the Space Gray Intel Mac Mini started at. That was an $800 product. Apple TV, same deal. I remember when it started at $200. It never was worth $200 back then, and it still isn't today.
I hear birds.
Dude, this just sucks.
I know, because some of these, like, there should be no reason for the Vision Pro to get a price hike. Because they've already made... Because we know they have so much unsold inventory.
Yeah, it should have had a price decrease because nobody's
and
buying
the iPad,
it.
and the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, they've already received price hikes. They don't... I didn't think they needed another price hike.
Looks like the iPads might have gotten one
Oh,
too.
yeah, they did.
Yep. $200 increase for the... Dude, the base 11-inch iPad Pro is not worth $1,200.
It is according to Apple.
It is not worth that.
It'll be interesting to see what this Rampocalypse does to Apple sales.
For an iPad that does almost nothing different to a budget iPad, it is not worth $1,200. I am surprised they didn't price hike the iPhones.
Oh! Shall I move on to our next topic that goes hand in hand with this?
I suppose they're waiting for September to justify, new iPhone. And
that's
such.
right. But the iPhone 18 Pro is rumored to start $1,400. I am serious. This is a real rumor. It's just a rumor.
That actually might push people's limits. I mean, I remember back when the iPhone 10 came out and it started at $1,000 and people thought they were stupid. Granted, it had a lot of special aspects of it, being the 10th anniversary iPhone and being such a radically new design. But even then, a phone starting at that price for most people, that's probably close to their limits. Because anything above that, we're going into foldable territory. That is like hyper niche tech enthusiast territory. That's not going to do well for the masses. Meanwhile, the iPhone 10, the 10s, and the Pro series after that, despite that one would think that would cater more to a tech enthusiast crowd, average Joes still buy it too. Because they think they need the third camera lens or bigger batteries or something like that, or maybe they just want the status or whatever. But I think it was around that price, $1,000. That was going to be about the majority of people's tolerance on how much they're willing to spend on a phone.
The 17 Pro already got a price hike too.
Yeah. I know these days most people go off of the monthly payments and the carrier deals. I think that is the only way we're going to see these phones sell. Because realistically, what is the 18 Pro changing over the 17 Pro?
Not enough to warrant $300 more.
That's like, the thing. This isn't. We're not going from the iPhone 7 to the iPhone 10. Those days are done.
The iPhone 7 to the iPhone 10. What? Let me look up how much the 7 Plus started again. iPhone 7 Plus initial. Oh.
That was around like $750 or something like that. It got close to a $300 increase.
Yeah, so it was $769. So
okay,
so
I was
so
close.
It was $230. But the price increase from the 7 Plus to 10 still wasn't $300.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we have inflation to deal with today.
I mean, there is inflation to deal with today as well. But I mean, we know it's because of the Rampocalypse that this probably.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I'm just questioning how well is this really going to sell, because I don't know. As far as from what I can tell, economically standing, prices on everything keep going up for whatever reason, be it inflation or in the case of tech, the Rampocalypse.
And of course, I mean,
but wages are not going up. I am consistently seeing wages are not going up to compensate.
Yeah, and the Rampocalypse, we talked about this before, the Rampocalypse in this case, it affects so many industries like you wouldn't even think of. Like, any products that use metal, they're getting price hikes. Granted, not as bad as tech, but they're still getting price hikes. Anything that uses a circuit, period. So that's all getting price hikes. Packaging materials. So therefore, everything. And this isn't the only thing we have economically going on too.
Yeah, we've got other economic disasters going on outside of tech, but that's not really in the scope of what the show talks about. But no, I am struggling to see how people are going to justify the new 18 Pro, other than they're upgrading from an old iPhone and carrier deals just happen to be good enough to just.
But I mean, even then, the people who upgrade.
Okay, come on.
The people who buy Pro iPhones aren't the ones who are usually not the ones who upgrade from super old iPhones. as the pro iPhone demographic generally doesn't keep iPhones for quite as long as the standard iPhone demographic.
That is true, and that's because most people who buy the standard iPhone genuinely don't care about what phone they're using. They just care about, does it work or not.
So Apple's gonna even struggle to get that.
Yeah, there are so many things going against them. For one, it's a year to skip because we just had the quote-unquote redesign with the 17
And the 18
Pro.
Pro is not really gonna fix it.
Yep. The amount of hardware features we're expecting to get over the 17 Pro are not notable enough to the masses unless you are a super tech enthusiast or super Apple enthusiast. And at the same time, $1,400 is not an insignificant amount of money. We justified $1,000 because, okay, yes, our phone is a very useful tool. And some of us like to have nice phones, but there comes a point where, especially in the car space, yeah, you have the mainstream brands like Chevy that are pricing their cars on an average around $30,000-ish to $50,000-ish unless you buy their stupidly expensive trucks. Okay, why is Center Stage behaving so poorly? And then you work your way up to Cadillac or something like that, or Mercedes, where you're starting to get base prices at $60,000-$70,000, and you're working your way up to six-ish figures. And then you have the tier above that where we go into hypercars and uber luxury like Bentleys and Rolls Royces. My fear right now is the iPhone's price is slowly approaching that uber luxury territory in the Bentley and Rolls Royce area, when previously it was in Mercedes and Cadillac area.
And like, you see people driving around Mercedes and Cadillacs, you do, but how many times have you seen a Bentley or Rolls Royce in real life?
I have only seen a Rolls Royce once.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Rolls Royce in real life before.
Yeah, that's because you're going to have a hard time finding them. I got lucky the one time when I visited higher end spot in the DC area. I think it was a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but that was the only Rolls-Royce I have ever seen in person. Other than that, you got to go to La Jolla in California. Then you'll spot them on a regular basis. So, yeah, that I am struggling to figure out what's going to happen with iPhone 18 Pro sales, because that steep of a price increase. Granted, yes, Apple has held off on the price increases for as long as they could, and that's because of their supply chain deals. But we knew this was coming. We knew they were about to expire, and that means they have to renew their contracts at much worse deals, and this sucks for us.
Exactly. It just feels like maybe they could loosen it a little bit, but again, we don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff that we don't know about this, other than the fact that we know Apple sales are probably going to take a hit from this regardless, like all tech company sales.
Yeah, all of them have been taking a massive hit. So, I really don't know what else to say other than that this just sucks, all these price increases.
Well, you know what I say.
I guess I should have asked this but on the previous topic, but now that the MacBook Neo starts at $700, is it still a worthy purchase?
Probably, I'd say. because everything else is getting more expensive too. So I mean, right now maybe, but at the same time though, like if this is something that I would like right now, honestly, I would hold off on buying a computer unless you absolutely need one.
Like, yes, unless your computer short circuits or does something like that. Now is not the time to be buying or building computers.
Exactly. Like my plan right now is just to whatever I have right now, I plan to keep it until keep it as I mean the oldest gadget I have right now is my MacBook, and that's from 2023, and my plan is to keep it until as my main computer, until at least 2028, at least.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna switch it out in 2027, but
so that's not gonna be my plan anymore for two reasons. Number one, we're in apocalypse, like high prices, but
yeah.
Number two, this is actually
one.
a far bigger reason, is that so because I'm going to be graduating high school that year, I'm in 2027. I don't know exactly how all my needs are going to change. Like if I'm going to be able to edit YouTube videos and podcasts, do a lot of podcasting and such afterwards. So I don't know how my computing needs are going to change. So I just need to. My plan is to wait a while and see how my computing needs change after I graduate high school. We'll see if I even need MacBook Pro at that point, or if I can go down.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like, what's wrong with using your Mac for as long as possible? Because honestly, given what's been going on, I just might continue to use my MacBook Pro until it stops getting software updates.
I mean, at that point, it'll be. I mean, of course, the biggest thing I'm worried about, which I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again, is I'm worried that after this AI bubble bursts, I don't know what computers are, how. I'm sure the prices of computers are going to have to go back down at some point, but I don't know by how much they will go down.
I would think they would eventually settle back to something normal. The question's how long does that take? Because
right now, especially in the current economical status, they're like if these were just random price increases not doing anything, then tech companies would be cooked right now.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm thinking of it, if the tech industry, as it is today, has a shot of returning back to normal, I don't see that happening until around 2030.
Yeah, because we have to wait for the...
Maybe even later.
Because we have to wait for the AI bubble to burst first, which, again, this is a very slow burst.
And then we need to wait for the reappropriation of memory supply, NAND
and of
chip
course,
supply.
there's they're opening up a new mining facility for at least lithium in Nevada. So there's gonna, and so of course, and because remember, factories are gonna, they're trying to change countries of factories too. So we gotta get all that situated too. And so yeah, this will be quite a chaotic time for the tech industry.
Yeah, honestly, I see myself using this MacBook Pro until it's out of software updates. And, I mean, the thing is, Apple Silicon is just that good. It's just, how do you justify the upgrades? I mean, you previously had come from Intel MacBook Pro. And it had its thermal limitations, as many people on the show might remember when the fans always spun up on your MacBook Pro.
I remember that old fondly. Not.
Yeah. But now that you have, I think it's the M3
yes.
Pro. Yeah. Now that you have the M3 Pro, given how advanced your YouTube videos are and everything else that you do on that laptop, there's no fan noise. It's a more powerful laptop than what I'm using, and I'm technically making more technically advanced videos than you. And yet, I'm having no problems driving my two 4K 60Hz displays, exporting hour-plus long 4K 60 videos at times. my main problem is just storage. But in terms of performance and raw horsepower, I legit have nothing to complain about with my M1 Pro MacBook Pro. The only thing that I might want to do at some point is maybe replace the battery on it.
But of course, batteries don't really have RAM in them, so...
Yeah, so battery replacements actually should not be any worse than what's going on with the memory module replacements. And now that I have an iFixit kit, I actually can finally tear into my MacBook Pro. I don't care at this point. The warranty's long since expired, so...
Did you by chance read my latest tweet about RAM prices?
Did it involve a hashtag, I think it was?
It's not that one. It's not the hashtag no more.
Okay, then no, I probably
hashtag
didn't
no
see
more
it.
AI, by the way. That's a new hashtag I started. Hopefully it'll catch on.
I would have written that a little differently.
Why would you have written that differently?
I would, it would just be a simple 2-word hashtag, the first one starting with a certain letter.
No AI. Good.
Different letter.
Oh. I think I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my tweet basically said, let me look back at the tweet. It's on a YouTube community post as well, but
Said this was today, right?
yeah, I said, at the current rate of the RAM shortage, gold will someday become cheaper than RAM.
I hate how true that is.
And then Ramin, former podcast guest, commented on my YouTube community post about this. Average conversation in 2050. Yo, how rich are you? I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Oh my god, you're richer than Elon Musk!
You know, let me think. How much RAM do I actually have in my life? I've got the 32 gigs in my server. I got the 32 gigs in my XPS. I've got the 32 gigs in my work PC.
You're rich.
I've already
You're
lost
so
count.
rich.
I've got the 16 gigs as my MacBook Pro, the 8 gigs in my iMac, is it 8 gigs in my 16 Pro Max?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to remember. Is it 8
It's
or is it
8.
12? I think it's 8.
Yes.
Yep. How much? I think it's 8 gigs of RAM on my, it's either 8 or 12 gigs in my iPad Pro.
I don't even want... I can't even begin to count how much RAM I have.
Oh yeah, how much RAM do you think you have in your cabinet?
So let's just count on my desk, excluding my Macintosh Plus. I have 2, 6, 4. 2 plus 6 plus 4. 18 actually. 12. Excluding my Apple Watch, and I don't know how much my iPad is. So far, I'm at 42. I know I have way more though.
Okay, I gotta do the math. I just have to.
I can't be.
Let's see.
Do you think I should compare? Do you think when I do my Apple collection video this year, I should total up how much RAM I have?
You know, we probably could. I don't want to forget my Tennis Max. That has 4 gigs
I'm not
of
gonna
RAM.
do. I don't dare try to calculate that right now.
Oh, I forgot about the iMacs I have on the floor over there. Alright, so do you want to know how much RAM I've totaled up? Oops. Forgot these. I forgot I have this memory on my desk. Yeah, these are 4 gigs, so... Okay. So you want to know how much memory I have? At least that I've counted up so far. 200 gigabytes of memory.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot.
And despite having 200 gigabytes of memory, I somehow can't remember a damn thing.
Look at all this RAM I got. I'm so wealthy.
Yeah. Same here. These are only 4 gig sticks.
I'm a wealthy man.
Oh.
Here's more RAM. Of course, now
Imagine the people with the Mac Pros that have 1.5 terabytes of RAM.
wonder how much they could sell them for right now.
It makes me wonder at that point, because of how much memory you can get in those Mac Pros, have they become an appreciating asset at this point?
Remember back when everybody was talking about how electronics have gotten so low priced?
Whew. Wish that was the case today.
It's after...
Thank you, NVIDIA and OpenAI and anyone else involved in the AI crap.
Thank you, Jensen. Shall I move on to our next topic, though?
Yes, we've gone on a lot about
Next,
this, so we got to move on to some other stuff.
So,
Amazon
Nope.
owned.
That's not
Amazon
the topic.
owned MGM.
Above.
Oh, did I? Oh, I skipped one. My bad. Oh, is it liter or
USB
liter?
liter.
Okay, USB liter 8. Something about the A12 and A13 tethered boot ROM exploit. Oh, I think I've heard something about this in the news.
So, do you know what a boot ROM exploit is?
I'd figure it would be an exploit in the boot ROM.
So basically it means it's permanently integrated into the phone. Like there's no software update that can fix it. So this offers more possibility for tethered jailbreaks and downgrades.
So do you think it'd be possible I could get my iPhone XS Max off of its terrible operating system and maybe restore it potentially back to iOS 12?
So I should give you a heads up, like that may or may not be possible depending on what tools get optimized for it. Because with the Checkmate exploit right now, the A5 and A6 devices can be restored to any version tethered, and then A9, A10 they figure out how to get those restored to any version tethered, but it's still risky for the other devices. So maybe someday in the future it will be possible to restore your iPhone XS Max back to iOS 12.0 with the catch that it'll have to be tethered, meaning that you'll have to boot it up every time it goes flat or you reboot it. You'll have to plug it into a computer. That's why it's called tethered.
So I just have to wait for an untethered jailbreak to come
There's
out.
no untethered ROM exploit, so yeah.
Well, maybe they'll find one. Who knows? And the only reason why I have interest in this case is because I am so sick of iOS 18, and I am so saddened by the fact that my beloved iPhone XS Max is plagued with it for the rest of its days.
Well, now you know it's not.
Yeah, so that's at least good to hear. I probably should finally do an actual battery replacement on this phone. Just because it's really nice as a secondary camera. I still use it for that.
I use my iPhone. I use my old. Hang on, let me grab it. I still use my old iPhone 14 Pro as a backup camera frequently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed in any of my videos.
Dude, cameras have gotten so good these days. It's just... That, and I'm as blind as a bat. I don't notice the difference.
Between the 14 Pro and the 17 Pro, I don't really notice the difference either.
Yeah, I can notice the difference between my XS Max and my 16 Pro Max, but even then, it's not large enough to be that impactful. So
Now shall I move on to the Amazon topic you were talking about?
yeah, I started reading. So Amazon-owned MGM no longer releasing Sam Altman
Biopic.
topic artificial
Movie, basically.
Oh. I couldn't tell your cursor is over the word. Yeah. After Amazon picked up a partnership with OpenAI, trying to find film new studio. So,
Let me see if they... So they did... So they did... So Netflix doesn't want it either. Somebody... It's still in search for a studio because Amazon did a partnership with OpenAI. Now Amazon doesn't want it. And this film had a $40 million budget.
On one douche.
Yep. Nah, that's why they don't want to.
What a waste
They don't
of
even want to
money.
release it now because it's about Sam Altman, so it's going to be, it might shed some bad light on him.
Yeah, he already has a bad reputation, even within his own company. He's just a hype marketing guy that clearly has not done so well on delivering on his promises and doesn't seem to care all that much about humanity, especially considering that he seems to... Yeah, he is also incapable of raising a kid.
Oh, right, yeah. I still find it funny how you found my video on raising cats of AI to be so cringy.
Yes.
But yeah.
I mean, it was supposed to be.
I know I mentioned that before, but I mean, still raising your kid with AI.
That's just sad. That's just so sad.
I wonder if Sam Altman will get Sam Altman's husband will divorce him eventually because of that. Probably not, actually. Getting back on topic,
Yes.
Sony's new Leica camera sensor that can capture effects. Sony has a new Leica camera sensor that can capture effects of multiple HDR frames in one single frame. Does not create motion blurring like effects of multiple HDR frames.
So is this for a standalone camera, or is this
This
something
will come to
that will...
phones.
Center Stage is doing so bad today. I don't know why. So this is this for a standalone camera or for a smartphone?
Both.
So maybe the iPhone 19 will get this camera
I don't
sensor.
know.
Because they do use Sony sensors.
Still won't be one. Still won't justify a $300 price increase.
No.
That
No,
will
it wouldn't.
justify us. I wonder if that'll justify another Sam Tucker song. Excuse me. Like the one he did about the Mac Pro stand.
I will pay $1,000 and I will pay $3.99 more.
I would pay $500 and I would pay $4.99 more. I don't remember the rest of the words. It's actually been a while since I've listened to that music video.
Yeah. I just remember those two lines plus the line where Tim Cook says, "Get out of my store."
For a stand made of soda, you could buy a ticket to... You could buy a 1997 Chevrolet at that point for less than $1,000. around the...
Dude, you can probably buy my dad's truck for less than $1,000.
Wait a second, so you're saying your dad's truck costs less than a new iPhone?
It genuinely would actually cost him more to get rid of it than it would to sell it. Yeah, his truck is worth so much money. We need to put a negative sign in front of it.
Okay, I'm going to have to... Sounds like I can afford it. I'm kidding, I'm not buying that thing.
No, I would not recommend it at all. The sad thing is, I know the truck, from what I've heard, the truck is actually in my parents' will, and I know exactly who it's going to.
You?
Yes!
That truck is not going to survive your parents' life. I'm sorry, it's not.
Oh, it better not. It better not.
I'm guessing
what a hunk of junk.
if you inherit that truck, do you plan on selling it?
I think I'm going to plan on scrapping it, actually.
Great idea.
Because, realistically, there's no bed. The engine severely needs a rebuild and a tune-up. It doesn't even idle in the winter. And, oh yeah, the cab isn't even attached to the frame anymore, yes. I should point out. So, yeah, that truck is long overdue for retirement. Nonetheless, though, we should continue on our list of topics here. So what's this? DJI is suing Insta360 because Luna Ultra is similar to Osmo Pocket 4P. I'm guessing those are two different camera models. Insta360 filed a counter lawsuit against DJI in the US for infringing patents for gimbal and 360 camera tech.
So in other words, the companies are fighting it out in court next.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure the lawyers are having a blast with this one.
It's a good preparation. It's a good distraction until all the lawsuits about AI stocks start coming.
Oh, yeah.
Shall I move on to our next topic, though?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Still on DJI, as a matter of fact. Oh, I missed a line. Yep. Netgear. Oh.
They were
yeah, the router.
They were exempt. They're exempted from it now.
And I hear it's for some particularly shady reasons.
Yeah, I haven't heard the entire story of why it's got exempt, but all I know is that it's exempt now, so...
I'm trying to Gamers Nexus covered this.
Yeah, he did, that's right.
And as far as I can tell, there's some shady business going on with how Netgear is exempt. And it has to do with security crap.
Yes.
When, as far as I can tell, there's no difference between Netgear's security status compared to another popular brand that keeps coming up that Netgear is trying to suppress, TP-Link. Now, I know that TP-Link is Chinese.
That might be the thing they're trying to ride on.
That's the number one thing that they're trying to rig the government against. It's because, TP-Link is Chinese, therefore they're a threat to national security. But the thing is, Netgear is not much better. I don't know where Netgear makes their routers, but I do believe that they still have some Chinese-ish relation going on.
Where does Netgear manufacture? Perfect.
I'm trying to remember if it's in Thailand,
Vietnam, Thailand,
or
Indonesia,
China.
and Taiwan.
Okay, so...
in China as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No, that was actually from Wikipedia, so it's kind of different. Let's find a source that's not Wikipedia.
Could ask Gemini.
They used to do manufacturing in China, but now it's been there.
Ugh.
Okay, so they moved from China to now Vietnam and Thailand.
Both countries still have a lot of Chinese ties, though. Particularly Thailand. Despite that Thailand is trying to be as independent from China as much as possible. Go get them, guys. There's still some ties. As much as it sucks.
Yeah, so shall we go and move on to our next topic? And we thought Apple's price increases were unreasonable.
Yeah, so I guess now we're only going to be able to get Netgear routers.
Yep, for new models, but so shall we move on to Snapchat?
Oh, they're moving on from the spectacles?
I think so. So Snapchat now has $2,195 Specs AR glasses, and their stock price dropped by 9% immediately following the announcement.
Whoa. Okay, that's news. Not because of the glasses themselves. That's not even newsworthy at all. What is newsworthy is AI is involved. It's involved in the name, but the stock price went down.
That's
newsworthy.
The AI bubble is starting to burst.
Oh. Now that's what I'm
now
talking
I think the AI
about.
bubble is starting
That's
to
some
turn
good
into
news.
an iPod Nano. Where's my puffy one? It's turning into this one.
Yeah. That's news. That investors are finally realizing that this AI stuff is a bunch of BS. Dude, that's just insane.
Agreed.
So, alright, I think we butchered that one. What's next? Xreal's new Android XR glasses with separate computing puck. I guess that's a new thing. Users can choose to either upgrade glasses or puck in the future. So in other words, they've made a VR headset where the computer and the display is detachable.
Yep, that's correct.
I don't think I agree with that approach.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I get the appeal, upgradability, yeah, but at the same time, you're now that it's modular, you're adding weight, and on a product like this, weight is not necessarily something you want to have.
And also, you can buy smart glasses where you just plug in your phone or something into. It uses an external display anyway, so that just seems far more practical than this.
Yeah, I don't see the practical application of the... Why are there so many companies that are trying to copy the Vision Pro after I think it's kind of obvious? Most people consider it a failure at this point.
Because the Vision Pro just got a price hike, meaning that's clearly selling well.
Yeah, wow, it is selling so spectacularly. I see them everywhere.
I see Vision Pros everywhere too.
That was sarcasm, in case you guys didn't detect that. I have never once ever seen a Vision Pro out in the wild.
Neither
Never.
have I. I've only seen them at an Apple store. And maybe
I can even go to I can even go to a wealthier area in the state, aka Petoskey or Harbor Springs, and I don't see these things out and about. Instead, what I see out in Petoskey and Harbor Springs are Porsche Taycans.
You sound lucky.
What a spot. I can't believe I spotted the J12 Taycan Cross Turismo in Harbor Springs last week.
Speaking of wealthy, expensive products, shall we move on to our next topic? That's about products for the wealthy. So the Microsoft Surface is now no longer for average people. They've decided that's not a good enough market because average Joes don't like the instability of Windows. So they decided to target the upper class market with the new Surface laptops, with the $1,500 Surface laptop and the $1,600 Surface Laptop Pro. They are 2 to 3 times as much as their predecessors, all without fixing Windows. Surface laptop sold.
So now you don't have to just be an idiot to use a Windows laptop anymore. You now have to be an idiot to buy a Microsoft laptop, period.
I don't really...
They don't even make good laptops.
I never see their laptops out in the wild. It's always a Surface tablet if I see one in the wild. And even that's unusual.
Yeah, I've only seen one Microsoft Surface ever in the wild. And even then, it really is not a good laptop.
My mom has a Surface tablet that's an older one that she bought because she had a piece of software that she wanted to use that was Windows only. But even she doesn't really use it that much. And then my math teacher is one of these at school, or she's not my math teacher now, but she had a Surface tablet as well. But that was also because she needed like the Texas Instruments graphing calculator software that is exclusive for Windows.
Yeah. I would never buy any hardware from Microsoft. It has never been good compared to the competition. Honestly, there are only 2 laptops I can recommend to people that are not Apple laptops. And even then, I can barely recommend them because of the software that they run.
Is the Framework laptop one of them?
Framework is one of them, yes.
Is the other one that...
Their hardware philosophy is really nice.
Oh, same.
They do tend to cost more, but no, the Framework laptop for me is pretty easy to recommend, especially since now you can get them with that are Linux ready. Which means you don't have to run Microsoft Windows on it. You can run Linux on these laptops, which, to my surprise, is not always the case with many Windows laptops.
And is the other one the Dell XPS?
Yep.
Not surprised.
Dude, I really like my Dell XPS. I mean, I hate the software on it, but I really do like the XPS.
I get it. It's pretty cool, but I think because we've all agreed that we should not buy these Microsoft Surface laptops, shall we move on to Noctua now?
Noctua. I have a Noctua cooler.
So Noctua has new all-in-one PC coolers that blow away competition in terms of noise level and prices. Get it? Blow away.
Yes, blow away. Yeah, Noctua has been doing a lot this year in terms of expanding their reach. They, for the most part, primarily stuck to air cooling solutions, which they are impressive air cooling solutions. I have Noctua's NHD 15. I have that tower cooler cooling my work PC. and it's cooling a Core i9 14900K just fine. It's silent. It's not. I rarely ever hear that cooler making a lot of noise. And that was just an air cooler. I thought if you really want to achieve silent or next to silent operation, you have to go liquid. Because once that CPU gets up in temp, then, well, yeah, your cooler is going to start screaming. But that has never been the case with the NHD 15. That thing is a monster cooler for an air cooler. But that was primarily where Noctua's focus is. They focused on air coolers and making them really darn good. So I've learned that this year they are expanding into water cooling, liquid cooling. That is new territory for them.
I mean, they're doing this in the midst of the Rampocalypse as well. Granted, AI data centers need cooling.
I mean, realistically though, Noctua actually does stand to make money during the AI boom. Because even if the data centers do get built out, you still need to cool these chips.
That's also very true.
That need hasn't gone away.
Especially because these are all based on NVIDIA inefficient GPUs.
Yeah.
Which is another big problem with these AI data centers. Is that they're all use outdated technology.
Yeah, so I'm a bit excited for what Noctua is doing in that. I mean, I personally don't care for the looks. They have specific... It is really easy to identify a Noctua cooler. You don't even need to find a logo. They have a very specific look to them. I've never been one for the looks on their coolers, but their performance is something to respect. So I'm excited to see what they're going to get into in terms of the liquid cooling game.
Yeah, this will be exciting. I didn't even think you'd have much interest in this topic, but apparently you... And I didn't have that much interest either.
I mean, I've stated before, I like all PC hardware.
I mean, now it makes sense, but it just... Speaking of PC hardware, shall I move on to the Steam Machine?
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if Tabby were here for this, because this would be a product more geared towards him, but I've done a little research on the Steam Machine.
It's now out and starts at $1,050.
Yeah, that price tag is hard especially for a gaming console. I mean, it technically isn't a console, it really is a Linux PC, just the software is so optimized for console-like behavior, because it's running SteamOS, which is optimized for the Steam Deck, a handheld. So, that's why people consider it more of a console than they do PC. And I can see why a lot of people were excited for that console in particular, because it was bringing actual PC games to the console.
On Linux, mind you, too.
Yeah, and Linux gaming has never been better. It is... I mean, I'm not a gamer, just putting that up front, but... that
commenter's going to come back.
I paid attention to a few things. Yeah, I know. I paid attention to a few things on the Linux side, primarily because, spoiler alert, I think I'm going to prepare for doing a Linux challenge.
Have fun.
I'm probably going to throw a Linux drive in my computer right next to me and actually try it out, because... I bash on Windows so much. It's really time I actually start diving into the other platform, because people tell me with Windows walking backwards at such a fast rate, Linux has actually been moving forwards so quickly to the point where I don't think I can just say anymore that it's purely for just enthusiasts. And the reason I had to say that is because if you have to touch the terminal, and this will be my challenge, I have to use Linux without ever touching the terminal. Because I don't understand terminal commands. I don't. And to me, if you have to go in the terminal and start typing random commands that you don't really fully understand, then no, Linux is not an operating system for the masses. And I've stood by that for so long. But as far as I can tell, there are new GUI interfaces coming out that are taking away the need to use the terminal for everything. And Linux is getting to the point where if you pick the right distro, it can actually be user-friendly for a change. What I mean by user-friendly is average Joe user-friendly, not the Linux enthusiast that knows the terminal at the back of their hands. So, I've been thinking of doing a Linux challenge. I just need to get a drive for my computer so I have a bootable SSD to boot to. But that's besides the point. The point that I've been trying to make is with Proton that Valve has developed. Gaming on Linux has never been better. So I can understand why the Steam machine was extremely exciting, but that price tag is not helping Valve's mission in bringing Linux gaming to the masses. And I will note, though, we're not the only ones that are upset about the price tag of it.
Even they are.
Even Valve is. Even Valve is upset about how much they have to price the Steam machine. And as far as I can tell, they said that when memory and storage prices come back to something more reasonable, they are willing to lower the price. They want to lower the price. Because they know, with a gaming console starting at $1,000, when you can get a PS5 with more performance than the Steam machine, by the way, for, what is it, $600? Yes. Yeah, the value just isn't there. So, I'm sure once Valve finally gets an opportunity when the industry calms down, I'm sure Valve's going to lower the prices as much as they can, but I mean, given what's going on today, yeah, it's kind of hard to sell for anything at a reasonable price. So, I mean, I wish the Steam machine luck. So,
wait a second. I know why Microsoft is gonna retain a stranglehold on the market. They partnered. I have a theory going on. They partnered with OpenAI, so that way prices of compute in NVIDIA, so that way prices would go sky high to the point where no one would buy a computer anyway. So everyone would stay on Windows.
Oh yeah, Microsoft is totally involved in it.
So they would stay with Windows.
I mean, for the most part, Microsoft doesn't care about the hardware. They mostly care about their software.
So think about it. It's genius. Make the prices of new computers so expensive that everybody must stay on Windows anyway. It's perfect. And then even if they have to get a new computer, they'll have to buy cheap, crappy Windows laptops anyway. Oh my gosh. It's a genius way to keep people on Windows.
Or worse, we'll just have to rent one from the cloud. Because that's what NVIDIA wants.
Yeah.
Oh, I should mention one very interesting thing that I've learned about the Steam machine. Something that I'm all for. As far as I can tell, the Steam machine is going to be by far the most user-repairable game console out there.
Oh, yes. I watched Gamers Nexus teardown of that.
Yeah. Valve partnered up with iFixit, actually, to supply the parts and provide teardown guides and repair guides. So that way, if the machine breaks, I mean, it's an electronic. It's not likely it's just going to break for
reasons like your truck, Dad's truck.
It'll be a while before it breaks. Yeah, it's not like my dad's truck. But nonetheless, if something does break on it, or say, hey, I hear that people in the meantime, they're dealing with the base Steam machine has like 512 gigs of storage or something like that. It's really small. But in the future, if SSDs ever come down in price, that's an easy upgrade. That's a very easy upgrade. Try doing that in your PS5.
Or your Mac. New Mac.
That too, yes. That too. So, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting box, not because I'm a gamer.
Oh,
Not because I'm a gamer.
same, exactly. But shall we move on to our next topic involving Fox and Roku?
Oh, this is interesting.
So Fox is buying Roku for $22 billion. Fox is in the network.
That's bizarre.
It is sort of bizarre. I mean, I get the Fox owns a TV network and Roku's largely focused on TV streaming, so it does make sense, but
I wonder how upset the liberals are going to get.
oh, very.
Because everybody knows Fox is very conservative leaning.
Yes, and all. Oh, yes. Don't worry, all the liberals are complaining about AI data centers now. And the conservatives too, to be fair on that one, but...
Yeah, no, everybody's complaining about the AI data centers. Everybody is. Except Jensen and Sam Altman. They love them. Because they get infinite money, supposedly. Even though I'm still trying to figure out how their money laundering scheme is working. Nonetheless, yeah, that is kind of bizarre. I did not expect to hear that news at all. But,
I did not either. This is on the and mind you, too, this is good. This is TV. The TV industry is already a struggling industry as is. And I mean, sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, like Fox is a website. Granted, that's already a struggling issue in itself. Like, granted, there is the Fox News website, but of course, even news websites are a dying industry as a whole. And of course, no one trusts Fox News really these days.
Yeah, well, the reason why news is a dying industry is because nobody trusts it anymore because they keep clickbaiting everyone or headline baiting instead of actually telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, I mean, Roku makes hardware, which is great, but we're also in the middle of they're making hardware for a somewhat dying industry, but also we're in the middle of the Rampapocalypse. Roku sales are probably going to get hit by this too.
I'm also confused because, like, Roku, aside from Samsung, and yes, I believe Amazon actually manufactures a TV. Aside from Samsung and Amazon, Roku is basically on everything else. Roku is what's on TCL, Hisense, Philips. If Philips still sells TVs in the US, I don't know. Vizio. Roku's on practically every TV that's not a Samsung or an Amazon TV. Like, there's no way they're struggling for cash.
I mean, granted, TV is a dying industry. But it's not that but I mean, a lot of older people still watch TV. And of course, these new TVs often don't last that long.
Yeah, that's a problem in and of itself. I mean, I know once my house is built, I will definitely be in the market for a TV, but once I get it, I have no idea how long it'll be before it gets replaced.
Yes, I mean, TVs in theory aren't supposed to be things that you replace every 3 years. Like, TVs don't advance that much, so once you get one, you should be Provided you get an actually good one, it should be able to last years.
Yes. That's a big if. If you actually get a good one, yeah, it'll last quite a long time. I'm trying to remember how long we've had our Samsung 55-inch. We've had that for a long time, and we even had it. We had only gotten it like long after the flat screen TV craze had started. We were so late to that game.
Didn't you only get a flat screen because you had a new relative moving into the house that you need extra room for?
Oh no, that was not it at all. I think we got it as a Christmas present from my grandma.
I thought you had to get rid of the Panasonic CRT because of make room for a relative, though.
No, that was not it at all. We only got rid of the Panasonic just because it was old and it was time. We got rid of the Panasonic specifically because we got the new Samsung TV.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the Samsung TV was a gift. Otherwise, we were doing just fine with our Panasonic.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
because our old setup, I should actually explain. Our old TV setup was a giant CRT.
I think you've explained it before.
It was either I'll call it, yeah, well, I didn't describe it that much in detail, but the TV itself was a giant 50-inch Panasonic CRT TV with a nice sound system in the base on the floor of it. The TV itself, wow, that was a totally different era, but I kind of miss it, not gonna lie. And initially we had DVD players and VHS, yes, VHS.
It's called a VCR.
Hooked up to it.
No.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we had been using those for the longest time until we finally got our Blu-ray player, and then it was our Blu-ray player that actually added smart TV functionality.
Oh, right, because a lot of
to the whole thing.
A lot of Blu-ray players have that now, or have that.
Yeah, with our Blu-ray player, we could stream Pandora music. We had Netflix. We had YouTube. We had I don't think it was called Prime back then, but we had Amazon.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember those days of Amazon.
Yeah, we had whatever Amazon movies. A few other movies. It was basically a smart TV, despite that we were using this late 90s 50-inch CRT TV. It was still effectively a smart TV. And because it was a nice big screen, granted it was only 1080p, but
it was a 1080p CRT.
Yeah. But with the distance, our TV is very far away from our couches. You don't see pixels. The resolution's not bad enough. And keep in mind, most DVDs, I mean
they're
actual
not
DVDs,
anywhere close.
They play back the movies in 1080p.
Huh.
So, yeah, even if you still watch DVDs on your 4K TV, yeah, it's not playing it back in 4K.
Why didn't they? Oh, DVDs were only in 480p, so...
Was it that low? I thought it was only up to 1080p.
Blu-ray is 1080p.
Was that what Blu-ray started? Yeah, Blu-ray is 1080p and 4K.
Yeah, the original Blu-rays were 1080p. Later on, they got 4K.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, with the content we were watching, the TV itself really wasn't a problem. It just looked old.
Yeah.
That was really its only demerit.
Do you remember what year you got the Samsung TV?
I want to say 2016.
Ah.
But even then, flat screens have been around
Since
a
the late
lot
90s,
longer
technically.
than then. Yeah. Yeah, I want to say, I think we got that TV in 2016. I could be wrong. It's either 2016 or 2017. I don't remember the exact year.
Wow, you really did go a long time without.
We did.
'Cause even in my old baby photos, we never had any TVs that were not flat screen. Even by the time I was born, and I mean, I'm not that much younger. I might be a little bit younger than Alpha, but I'm not that much younger.
Yeah.
And then
we've held on to our CRT for so long.
And then at my grandma's house, there weren't even any CRT. There was only one CRT. Technically two, although one of them was their old one from the 70s. They just never got rid of because it doesn't work. But there was only one CRT in the house by the time in my grandmother's house by the time I was born, and that, well, she still has that too, but it's obviously not the main one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had that giant one, our giant CRT TV in the living room, and then for a while we actually had a second one in the basement. I think, yeah, the second one in the basement was a Mitsubishi.
Is that one now gone?
Oh, that's been gone for a long time. That one went before we got rid of the.
Did y'all sell that
Panasonic
one?
I don't remember if it was sold or if it was just given away or something. But
I'm guessing y'all didn't.
No, we got rid of that.
I'm guessing y'all didn't use it.
Couple of years. Oh no, we did. It's just. I'm trying to remember why we got rid of it.
Was your dad perhaps trying to redo the basement?
No, because the basement wasn't redone until 2020.
Oh, right, that's the year you moved down there.
Yeah. Yeah, basement wasn't redone until 2020. So... And we had gotten rid of that TV in like 2014 or something. Honestly, I don't remember why we got rid of it.
I'm sure your parents would.
Yeah. Might have just been it was taking up space and...
You had a TV up there.
Because the thing was, we used it. My parents would use the Panasonic in the living room, and then my sister and I would watch something... separate in the TV in the basement.
Oh, well, that would make sense. That makes sense.
In fact, oftentimes it was them watching a movie in the living room, and we had the Wii downstairs at the time. So they'd be watching a movie, we'd be playing video games on the Wii. So, yeah, those were good TVs. I really didn't realize how much I missed their sound systems in particular. That's the one thing that I miss from our old CRT TVs.
Yeah, do y'all still have... did y'all ever get another TV in the basement or not?
Not until my dad started doing his stuff down there. Yeah, technically there's actually two in the basement. One he's using as a computer monitor, and then the other he has in the room he's sleeping in down there. So, yeah, there's technically two TVs in the basement. The thing that sucks now is that we're all just using the built-in TV speakers on all of them, and they're just not great.
I mean, built-in TV speakers, they're passable. Like, they're just fine, but that's it.
Well, when there's an audio file in the house, passable is not fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, my HomePod Mini produces better sound than those TVs.
Too bad speakers are getting more expensive now due to the Rampocalypse.
Yep. So that sucks. So.
Shall I move on to Chevy Silverado now?
All right.
The 2027 new design.
Yep. So this particular one, it's not the electric. This is just the gas one. I have some thoughts, and I don't really think they're positive ones.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, it's just okay. Like, it's not anything to stand out. No. Still a little bit big.
The design itself is really an evolution over what they had previously.
Did they finally make it more reasonably sized?
Oh no, the dimensions are still the same. In fact, I'm willing to bet the reason why a lot of decisions about this new design have been made was because Trump is in office and the fuel economy regulations were decreased.
Oh, definitely.
And I say this because let's just say the engines are about to get thirstier than previously. Which, the funny thing was, I was surprised when the last design of the Silverado came out. That was in 2019. Trump was in office during then with also lax fuel economy regulations. And they decided for that generation, they weren't going to touch both of their V8 engines. What they ended up changing was they actually added a couple options. They modified the diesel option for the 1500. The diesel, I believe it's inline six for a diesel. And then they stupidly, I can't believe this somehow got past the drawing board. They stupidly added a 4-cylinder option in a full-size pickup, mind you.
That's dumb.
Yeah, you can probably see how it's yeah, that was for the last design. I think they did it well, the funny thing was come on, I lost my train of thought. I don't remember, but because the fuel economy regulations were laxed, they chose not to touch the engines and not make them any more efficient. And I'm willing to bet if we had more liberals in office and the EPA was a bit tighter on the fuel economy regulations, they probably would have finally decided to do something about the fuel economy problem that their engines have. It's not like it's awful. Like, you can average around 20-ish miles per gallon, which is sadly what my GMC Terrain with a V6 is averaging.
My car averages 22 miles per gallon with a V6, so...
Yeah, so it's not like the worst thing ever, but it's like, come on, guys. Why are we still stuck in the 20-ish miles per gallon when we're dealing with inflation and rising costs and all of this? Why are we satisfied with
especially because GM
economy?
Struggled so much during the 1970s during the oil crisis then.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, yeah, Ford's got their questionably reliable 3.5-liter V6. I say that because it's known to blow on the occasion because they kind of tune it for a little too much power. But despite the reliability problems, it's still got better fuel economy than GM's trucks. And that's because, for the most part, nobody buys a GM truck without the V8. And if you do get the diesel, you're not buying the 1500. You're buying the 2500, the heavier duty versions of the truck. And so, yeah, most GM truck buyers, they're always buying the V8s. They never buy anything else. While most F-150 buyers are actually buying the 3.5-liter EcoBoost. So Ford has typically always had an edge on GM in the fuel economy department. And I was kind of hoping, especially after what just happened the past few months, that GM would come to their senses and realize, you know what? This 20-ish and less than that miles per gallon thing that we're targeting with our... Maybe we could do better. Maybe we could innovate.
Especially in other...
That's all I'm suggesting.
Especially for other markets where gas prices are so much worse. Like, in Europe, like, I did the math recently my dad and I did the math recently on how much gas is on average per gallon in Europe right now. And right now it's like the equivalent of $11.38 per gallon.
Oh yeah, it's bad. But at the same time, these trucks aren't sold in Europe. True. Well, some people import them, but for the most part, they're not sold in Europe, primarily because they don't fit on the streets.
I mean, they do technically, but...
Gee, I wonder why. So, yeah, it would be nice if GM for a change would have thought, hey, you know what? People are getting a little more gas price conscious these days. Maybe we should, I don't know, offer better versions of our trucks, and yet my complaint is they went in the opposite direction. Now, we don't have actual posted fuel economy numbers, but the sizes of these engines have gone up considerably. The 5.3 liter V8 has been replaced with the 6 liter V8, which is dangerously close to the 6.2 liter V8, and I know that is not an efficient engine at all. And speaking of the 6.2 liter V8, that has been upped to a 6.6 liter V8. So that means, because of these much larger engines, I'm willing to bet these trucks are not going to get good fuel economy at all. It's only going to get worse. So I don't know what they're doing for any smaller engine options. I'm sure they're going to keep the diesel around. But, oh yeah, and they're keeping their stupid nobody buys the 4-cylinder version of the truck. Because it's actually really bad.
Who would buy a 4-cylinder truck anyway?
I mean, if it's a smaller truck like the Ford Maverick, it makes perfect sense. But this isn't a Ford Maverick. This is a full-size 1500 Chevy Silverado. A 4-banger's not enough. It's the same problem I have with the Equinox. They put in this stupid tiny 4-banger in the Equinox that produces barely enough power to move this thing along, and it's always screaming at max RPM because it's not powerful enough. And that's the same problem that 4-cylinder in the Chevy Silverado is going to have, and has been having. So it's just absolutely stupid that thing exists. And that's what they pitch as the fuel-efficient option.
GMG. Shall we move on to our next topic, speaking of Polestar?
Not yet, actually, because there's still more I wanted to talk about.
Go right ahead.
With the Silverado. Have you seen what the High Country model has for the interior?
Let me look it up.
Because if I recall, this is going to be the first for any full-size pickup. Actually, any pickup in general.
YouTube.
Notice anything to the right on the passenger side?
A display.
Yeah. This might be a hot take, but I think it's stupid.
Agreed, because what are you gonna use? Like, you can already watch YouTube on your phone without a separate subscription that you're gonna need, OnStar subscription that you're gonna need to run that anyway.
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, what that passenger display is, it's basically just the same thing as the center display. And it's so what's the point of it? Oh, the passenger has better reach of the center display is like right next to you. So,
and mind you, this is a utilitarian vehicle. The people who are buying these types of work trucks don't need. They just do not need this display.
Yeah, they're not going to use it because there's only one person in the truck. It's the driver of the truck. And the only reason that that's the case is because they need that large of a vehicle to haul their massive ego wherever they go.
Exactly. Unless they actually need it to tow stuff or to haul heavy equipment.
Even then, it's just the passenger display really is not a useful thing. And this goes for all cars. I would not spec a Porsche Taycan with it.
Well, of course, Chevy Silverado, its target market is people with big egos, probably the same people with PhDs.
Probably.
So, they got...
Although I would think they'd be more inclined to get the Sierra Denali, but...
Well, some of these college graduates...
No, it doesn't really matter the car.
Some of these PhDs don't have money because they spent it all on school, so they have to settle for Chevy instead.
With the price tag of the high country, it's the same price as... It's just about the same price as a Sierra Denali.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why?
These Silverado high countries, you can get them for like $80,000. They're $80,000 new.
Why not just buy a Sierra Denali then?
Because those are $100,000 new. Actually, that's like absolutely topped out, fully spec'd, fully loaded.
Well, of course, if you actually...
And maybe requires going heavier duty than just the 1500. But no, these trucks are like $80,000, both Sierra and Silverado, in their top configurations.
Well, of course, you probably don't need their top configurations unless it's for hardware purposes, and you're one of the 5 people that actually need it.
Well, even then, actually, you got to be careful of how much you equip your truck with, because the more equipment you add, the more weight you add to the vehicle, and that hurts your total hauling and towing capacity.
So it really just needs to be like, so really you really don't need to add anything.
Yeah, people buy the Denalis and the high countries not because they're actually going to tow or carry heavy payloads with them. It's because they want the bougie truck.
Exactly, because why would they do... Because Cadillac doesn't make trucks anymore.
Well, they do. It's just not in pickup truck form.
Yeah, they don't make pickup trucks anymore. Yeah. Because apparently, it turns out no one wants to actually use a Cadillac pickup to do work.
Yeah. No, that... Yeah, they don't want to... Cadillac's not a workhorse brand. It's not... I'm a working man's brand. That's Chevy and GMC. And this extends outside of trucks. a general working man buys a Chevy because it's cheap transportation that's relatively fuel efficient, and this is in the car space. That's a general working man. An enthusiast or a lifestyle-focused person buys a Cadillac.
Or he wants a sedan because, of course, Chevy doesn't make sedans anymore.
Even then, Cadillac doesn't really make that many sedans either. As far as I can tell, they still have the CT5, I think.
Well, of course, sedans.
I think they still have the CT5.
Wait, no, sedans don't really matter anymore these days. I'm kidding.
As much as I hate that.
All same.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised about that. But, I mean, in general, the passenger display thing that... I need to wrap this up. Every vehicle that has tried to implement it, be it Ford with the Explorer and Lincoln the Navigator, they've got an all-expensive display like that. Cadillac's Escalade, Mercedes EQS, Porsche Taycan, Macan. All of the brands that have a passenger display have put it to such poor utilization. And again, this might also be a hot take. I just think it looks ugly.
I don't think it's necessarily ugly, but I just think it's impractical.
Well, yeah, it's definitely impractical. It's not as practical as they think it is. Which is, again, it's weird, especially coming from me. I'm the king of screen real estate here. And despite that, we've never had as much screen real estate as ever in these cars. I think the problem is ultimately that the screen on the passenger side, the screen extending out to the passenger side of the car, it's only going to be used for one thing. And that one use case is so uncommon because of our smartphone that it does not make sense to have it. Because if you want to use it for any vehicle functions, well, guess what? You can't really do that because the driver is only capable of reaching so far. So you can't put vehicle functions in that screen because if there's no passenger to control it, then you can't access those functions. And even then, when automakers do that, they're in the center display anyways. They're not that far away from the passenger if the passenger is the one who's adjusting them. So it doesn't make sense from a functionality standpoint. So that only leaves it left for entertainment. But it's like, that's what our smartphones
and
for.
Also, who does long enough trips in a truck that you'd want that much entertainment anyway? Besides the music that's playing in the besides music or podcasts or audiobooks that you can just play in the truck stereo anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
to me, it just doesn't make sense, especially in the passenger seat, because it's going to be an adult with a phone that's riding in the passenger seat.
Or else maybe
and
a teenager
even then,
with
like,
a phone.
rear entertainment systems. Yeah, rear entertainment systems don't even make sense anymore because kids have iPads these days.
That's true.
So, I'm not one of those people who's super anti-screen in cars because I do see their functionality and I think it's awesome. But at the same time, I think they're taking this trend of everything being screen,
which of course is driving up cost
a little too far.
Because all these screens, they require RAM. And you know what that... But I mean, yeah, exactly. Kids having iPads is not a new thing. Kids have had iPads as standard since almost since the iPad came out. So that's been, or else similar to how that's been a standard for so many years at this point. That's just And of course, you can download offline content easily, so that's not a problem. And even if they somehow want to be able to stream, then I mean, you maybe could do a hotspot. But even then, that's not really economical. But neither is the car's Wi-Fi. So,
Well, iPads also have cellular options.
I hardly ever see cellular iPads out in the wild, though.
Same. I mean, I have one, but not because I bought it.
Right, your iPad 1.
Yep.
I have some older
But,
ones in my collection too that are cellular, but like I do not have a mainstream. But like I never get the cellular on my iPad anyway because I'm the only places I ever really use my personal iPad are either at my house or my grandmother's house, and I have both the Wi-Fi passwords. So
Yeah. The one thing that I could see useful of more displays in cars, particularly in the back seat, back then before streaming was common, not gonna lie, it's nice that you can load up a DVD and play a movie for the kids, or depending on how fancy your car is with its rear entertainment system, you could actually plug in a separate video source, and some people would bring their Xboxes or PlayStations along and play video games in the car.
so I mean, okay, that's like one advantage of the screens in the car, but that's a but honestly that's a but honestly that's it. But even the which okay, the game console thing that's I get that, but I mean the DVD thing that's still. I'm not saying that DVDs still aren't used, for they are, but they're definitely a dying industry.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. DVDs are a lot less common these days, which I'm realizing as I'm getting older. I really didn't think I'd be as what's the word? Nostalgic? I never really thought of myself as nostalgic, but I'm genuinely thinking once I do have my own place and I have my own space and I have room to store stuff, I would be one of those people going back to the DVD days.
I mean,
although specifically I'd get the Blu-rays because those are higher
yeah,
quality.
same. I mean, I don't. I mean, granted, when we were granted, it's especially still obvious in the tech community these days, but like it's still obvious, at least with me, that there's a whole new generation of people coming in. Like back when I was a little kid, DVDs were still, I mean, they weren't as commonly used as they were around the turn of the millennium, but they were still fairly common when I was little. Like I think my family still sometimes watched them back then. But even if it wasn't used with my family, how do you think my school showed movies? It was usually with a DVD. Back in the early days DVDs actually used to be the norm until I was they would always use DVDs until I think in third grade that started changing a little bit because then at that point they started using Amazon. But beforehand, DVDs were always the norm at my school.
I don't think it was until 2016 when, if the teachers were displaying movies, they would actually log into a streaming service.
It was maybe it was a little bit in 2016, but I remember especially in fourth grade in 2018 that becoming a norm for me. 2017 maybe. Yeah, 2017. I think it started becoming a little bit. Yeah, we did that in 2017 a little bit. I mean, obviously, showing YouTube videos is very normal in class. Had become very normalized in classrooms by the time I started kindergarten in 2014. But I mean, I'm sure most video streaming sites are probably blocked until around 2016 or 2017 or something like that. Until I realized that was a new way to watch movies.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure.
Unless you were one of the staff members that had unlimited access to the internet.
I don't even know if staff members have unlimited internet access. at my school.
Okay, they might have some things blocked for like actual security reasons, not just for child protection, but like for actual device
And like
security.
I'm sure like porn sites are obviously blocked.
Okay, yeah, stuff like that. But I mean,
they have a lot more.
I definitely noticed a difference in YouTube. For me, was hampered on the student network. And as a matter of fact, funny enough, I couldn't watch my own videos at school.
So for me, it depends. So for me at my school network, I actually have lots of experience. So for me on my school network, it varied depending on what device I was on. If I was logged into my school account, then it would only then I can still watch some of my own YouTube videos on my school account, but it like limits them.
Yeah, I couldn't even watch my own YouTube videos at school. I'm not entirely sure how they filtered out my channel. But, because the thing was, I could still access YouTube. But my selection was, it wasn't YouTube Kids I was limited to. It was still mostly, like, YouTube stuff adults can even watch. But, well, I don't know. It's just, it seemed selective about what I could watch. Even though I wasn't using YouTube Kids or anything like that.
And were you logged into your own account, or were you logged into your school account?
This was me signed out of Google, out of YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was clearly a network limitation, a firewall limitation.
Yes, I don't. So.
Okay, I have to get a fan because I am sweating.
Valid point.
My goodness. Oh, it is so hot. Oh. Yeah, I would really like to take up Alec Watson's idea on ceiling fans.
I get that. I have one in my room, actually.
Yeah.
Well, my house is pretty old.
I used to have one, and then I moved out of my room.
Did your basement have one?
No.
Oh, your old bedroom had one.
The old one, yes, that had a ceiling fan. Oh, that air feels so good.
Yes, air conditioning. I have an AC vent right above my desk.
I don't even need air conditioning. Like, what's the Oh. See, here's the problem with my Apple Watch. That's my work watch face. It's not supposed to display that. It's supposed to display this watch face. Stupid bug. Yeah, it's currently 65 degrees outside. I don't need air conditioning. I just need air movement.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, the high today here was 87.
Yeah, 71 here today.
Getting back on topic to our previous side tangent about YouTube at school. So, for me, how it works is that if you're logged into your school account, then it's limited. And, however, once you get outside your school account, then, in my case, if I was logged into my phone via the guest network for my school district, then I could still watch most of the YouTube videos I wanted to, but I just couldn't comment. And the one weird thing is that I could not check YouTube Studio at all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my YouTube comment section was always turned off.
Granted, that makes sense because you don't want cyberbullying to happen. So, that makes...
I did have access to Studio, though.
I just can't read comments via YouTube Studio. So it's effectively useless to me during the day at school. For the most part. I can access Twitter and Instagram just fine logged into the guest network though on my phone at my school. But if I'm on the school Macs and I'm logged into my personal accounts, I can do all the YouTube and commenting I want to, and I can do all the YouTube studio, use YouTube Studio all I want, and social media all I want, unless the teacher of that classroom has decided, has locked the websites down because you're doing classwork. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, either way, those are the biggest things I have to say on the new Chevy Silverado. Trying to circle back to what we started with.
Shall I move on?
No, I'm not. I'm not pleased to see the engines are going to get thirstier, especially these days. We're all kind of fuel economy conscious.
Gas prices are starting to go down in my area, actually.
They are. They're even going down here too, albeit actually they just went up today by 10 cents. So we're averaging around 380, 390 a gallon, and that's for regular fuel.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what we average in my area right now. It's like 3. It's like, again, I never pay attention to gas prices because regular isn't how I fill up. So, and most gas stations.
Yeah, because your car requires premium.
And even still though, technically premium is a lot more fuel efficient, even on cars that run that will take regular.
Not really. It's not exactly how that works. I mean, it might have slightly different additives, but for the most part, the efficiency improvements that you get with premium, it's really insignificant.
Okay, well, I'll do a little bit more research on that then, but I digress. That's beside the point, but
yeah.
Shall I move on to our next topic now? Because we have 2 more topics left.
Yeah, let's get through those. So, Polestar
is exiting the U.S. market.
Surprise, surprise.
To focus on the European market.
Yeah.
I don't even think they sold that well here anyway, so...
I mean, I have seen a few Polestars here and there. It's not... The only time I've ever seen them is when I go to visit chargers. I saw a Polestar 2. I believe it was in Louisville, Kentucky, when I went through on my North Carolina trip. But other than that, no, Polestars aren't really that common. And I think part of it has to do with Polestar doesn't really have an identity.
No, they don't. And even so, their original parent company, Volvo, they had no identity. Volvo isn't really that popular in North America, except for in the Northeast in Colorado.
Well, Volvo does actually have an identity. They're known as the safety
makes
brand.
Sense given that they invented the seatbelt. Volvo still isn't that popular here. And of course, Polestar. I know, like most people don't know who Polestar is in the U.S. unless you're a car enthusiast, and they're electric, so they already have limited reach because of that here in the U.S. And on top of that,
well, they're not fully electric. Their first car was actually a plug-in hybrid.
Well, there's that, and now, of course, Polestar is based in China, so everyone loves Polestar now because of that.
Yeah. No, as far as I can tell, in terms of people trying to say what is Polestar's focus, their supposed focus is in design. That's somehow what Polestar's focus is in the automotive industry.
I've never heard of Polestar being the design brand.
Well,
sort of have.
If you look at the Polestar 4, the Polestar 4 is a very wacky design.
I didn't even know that was the thing.
And that's because their previous 3 cars, the one was based off of a Volvo Coupe, and it looks exactly like a Volvo Coupe. The Polestar 2 looks exactly like a Volvo sedan. And the Polestar 3, it's a little different from Volvo's EX90. They're based on the same platform. It's a little different design-wise, but it's still basically a sportier-looking EX90. It wasn't until the Polestar 4 came out where it really has a radically different design from a Volvo.
Let me look up what a Polestar 4 looks like.
It's a sedan, hatchback, crossover. It's a really weird car. I have no idea what to describe it as. That also doesn't have a rear window.
What?
I'm actually serious. It does not have a rear window.
That sounds like a wonderful vehicle. Not.
Yeah.
This isn't a semi-truck. People driving these types of cars actually need rear windows to see what's behind them.
Yeah.
How is that legal?
I mean, by regulations here in the U.S., you have to have a rear view facing mirror, and it does have that, but you don't necessarily need to have a rear windshield. In fact, you actually don't legally need a front windshield. You just need one working windshield wiper, but you don't actually have to have a windshield.
Okay, sounds like they need to change the regulations on that because you don't need a front. Granted, no, I don't think.
I never said American regulations made sense, especially in the auto industry.
Yeah, because wouldn't that be necessary to need a rear window? I mean, they're exiting the U.S. anyway, but you think the EU would be all up in their arms about this, though?
I would ask, though, convertibles. How does that work for convertibles? Because convertibles don't have a rear window.
But they're
in convertible mode.
But you can see out of them, though.
Well, technically, if there was a mandate that you have to have a rear window, then you can't sell a convertible.
Okay, they could maybe make exceptions for convertibles. So actually, that makes sense. Make an exception for a convertible.
But no, yeah, as bizarre as it is, you technically are not legally required to have a windshield on your car. You just need a working windshield wiper. As stupid as that
makes perfect
sounds.
Sense for all make cars. And white vans where you don't want people to see inside.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of vans don't have rear windows. Box trucks don't have rear windows because it's a box truck. You're not going to be able to see out the back of that thing anyways. So, yeah, there's plenty of vehicles that don't have rear windows where actually I think you'd kind of want one. Like a van, that's a long vehicle. I think I'd kind of want to see out the back of that thing.
I mean, that's expected. Whereas for cars that are intended for average Joes to drive, I mean, maybe not average, but I mean, like a car like the Polestar 4, like you'd want a rear window on that.
Yeah, one would think. So, yeah, it's a wacky car, but I am not surprised that Polestar really has not been doing well in the U.S. And I think the biggest reason why is because they have no identity. Like when you think of Porsche, you think of racing heritage
and luxury.
And when you think of Mercedes, you think of the S-Class.
Expensive.
You think of top-tier luxury. Yeah. BMW is performance.
BMW, you think of
street
BMW,
performance.
you think of drivers not using their turn signals. You think of drivers
too.
poorly driving.
Yeah, all of these brands have some sort of identity, but Polestar, they don't have anything. Like, even compared to other startups, Rivian has a really strong identity, being the adventure-focused brand. Rivian knows exactly what they are. Tesla, as much as I disagree with their current identity, Tesla once upon a time was the brand known for making efficient vehicles for the masses.
Nowadays, they're focused on FSD.
Nowadays, they're the FSD brand, and I despise that. And even Lucid, as much as I genuinely don't think they have a strong identity in the luxury space, they have a strong identity in the car engineering space. Because from a hardware standpoint, their cars are something to respect.
And with
their software, on the other hand, that's an entirely different
and the paint
story.
jobs.
That too. Speaking of which, I think I might add some Lucid news at the very end of this if we have time. But
what's this Lucid news? But even even Ford and GM have identities as the American brands.
Yeah, they're symbols of freedom in the U.S.
Toyota has an identity of Toyota, Honda, and Nissan all have identities of being the all reliable brands.
Yeah, being cars that just don't die.
Subaru has the reputation of being of those weird SUVs that are average that liberals drive up where you live.
Very true. A Subaru up here is literally the most liberal car. I only know one conservative that drives a Subaru. All the other Subaru drivers are... Well, scratch that. I know two conservatives that drive Subarus. Other than that, every other Subaru driver I know is a liberal. So... But nonetheless, yeah, the point is every brand has some form of identity.
And I mean, the identity changes depending on where you are too, and depending on what circle you're in. Like Subaru in the racing, Subaru has a strong reputation in the racing circle, especially in Japan.
I would not say that's the case here.
I don't even think most Americans know Subaru makes race cars.
I mean, the WRX.
WRX, that's what I meant. But that's not the reason people are loyal to Subaru, though.
Yeah. Actually, if I recall, I think Elias drives a WRX.
He drives like an SUV for him. But he drives some Subaru SUV.
No, it's not an SUV. It is an actual WRX.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So... No, nonetheless, that's the reason why Polestar never took off. They have no identity here in the States. There's no identity to Polestar. As far as I can tell, the Polestar people that actually own them, I'm trying to figure out what is it that they love about their Polestar. And as far as I can tell, there's not really a solid thing to love about them.
Exactly, but shall we move on to Lucid news now?
Yeah, as far as Lucid, Lucid's got a bit of a massive problem now that a specific somebody has left. Imad Dalala has left Lucid. And why is that important news? It's because he was the only reason anybody could get excited about Lucid. He was the head of engineering. And engineering was the only strong point of Lucid's. And Imad has left
What's
Lucid.
he doing now?
I don't actually know.
How do you spell his name?
EMAD. AD, not OD.
Yeah, I see the...
Here, I'll fix it. I'll fix the
see.
typing.
Yeah, it doesn't say what he does now.
So, yeah, so that makes me incredibly nervous for Lucid at this point. I never wanted. I've been very critical of them over the years, and I'd say fairly so. I haven't been critical without merits, but this actually makes me worried for the brand because eMod is gone, and as far as I can tell, there is a massive C-suite headquarter board shuffle going on that seems a bit questionable. And as far as I can tell, Lucid's kind of starting to fall into the same trap that
Fisker.
I wouldn't say Fisker, because Fisker was just a bad car in every aspect. Bad engineering, bad software, bad leadership, bad price. It was just a bad car. But I don't like where Lucid's going with... they're basically trying to become a Tesla all over again. As far as I can tell, it's just Tesla all over again. Where we start off with the sedan, we move to a 3-row crossover, and now they're working on their 2-row mid-size crossover. I guess they're not doing it more sedans because, shocker, people don't seem to like sedans these days, as stupid as that is. And as far as I can tell with what Lucid's focusing on, and same problem, I hate that all the startups are chasing the autonomy crap. I really do. Because even Rivian's doing it at this point with R2.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. Do you have any more to say, or shall we move on to our final topic?
Yeah, it's just that now that eMod's gone, what's going to happen to Lucid? Because he was the best engineer there, and he was actually supposed to fix the software.
Oh.
They put him in charge of software as well. He was supposed to oversee software development, which, as far as I know, in his time there in that position, they were actually starting to fix a lot of the software bugs. There's still a lot of work to do, but the thing is, now that he's gone, what does that mean for the cars? And I should also have you know, when anybody wanted to learn anything about Lucid and the cars themselves, you always talk to eMod. He was the one who always explained the car and explained why you should buy a Lucid. He was effectively normally the CEO would be the public face of the company, but that wasn't really the case, especially when Peter Rawlinson left. eMod became the new face of the company. And now there is no face of the company. There's no face of the company. There's no well-known, respected engineer in charge of the engineering of the car, which was what the car was best known for. And so, what does Lucid have for them at this point?
I don't know, but shall we move on to Huawei and stupidity?
Yeah, I'd say it's time we move on. So what's
Huawei has a patent for a trifold for an exposed screen that's very thick, and the idea is that it's supposed to be like a size of a regular phone unfolded. Yes.
That's not a new concept. It's not.
It's a trifold one, but it's just dumb.
Samsung has a trifold
at
this point.
No, Samsung's trifold unfolds to a tablet size. Huawei's is only unfolding to a regular phone size.
Oh,
yes!
What? Where are the batteries supposed to go?
They're going to be small.
That is really stupid.
Agreed. At least it's only a... Why on earth would they patent this?
I mean, the clamshell was already a bad enough design. I can't believe they're trying to fold it twice.
Speaking of stupidity, shall I go ahead and mention what my mom told me? What my mom told me about sedans when I was once again rambling about when I was with her about why anybody would buy an SUV.
Oh no, don't tell me she's one of those sacrilegious people who insist crossovers are superior over everything else.
My mom told me that because I told my mom that I plan on never having an SUV when I grow up. Perfectly reasonable. My mom told me that.
I mean, I said the same thing, and
I don't live.
We know what's parked in my driveway.
I don't live up north though. I don't need a winter car.
True, I only bought it because I was looking for ground clearance and all-wheel drive. And I had initially wanted a truck. The problem is they're too expensive.
Yeah, so I don't need a winter vehicle, but aside the point, my mom told me that if I ever had a kid, then it would be just too hard to buckle them in and out of seats in sedans.
That's what the van's for.
Exactly, and also, I mean, if you have like one kid, then or two, then it can't be that hard to buckle them in and out of a sedan.
Realistically, too, I mean, come on. I know that's bogus because, what have me and my sister always grown up in?
Did your parents have any trouble buckling you guys in?
Never.
Isn't your family like?
And I will have you note, we have not gotten an SUV until 2019. We have not owned a single SUV in this family until 2019.
Was that the GMC Denali?
That's the Yukon.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the Yukon.
Yeah.
Every car we've had before that has always been a sedan or truck.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. My mom's side that because we used to have my mom used to have a Mustang. My mom side that we got to get rid of the Mustang pretty quick after I was born. I'm like, well, duh, of course you can't fit children in a Mustang. That's
also hard to buckle up kids in when you only have two doors.
So yeah, okay, that's not a car meant to carry around little kids in. Okay, that's pretty obvious. But I mean, it's still like a normal full size sedan. That's proper to put. You can easily do that. No, actually, yeah, my family got a Chrysler 300 when I was relatively little, and we were able to. My parents were able to buckle me in and out just fine. Yeah, I mean, another thing too of your family is like, aren't both your parents kind of tall?
My mom she's a little shorter than me, not by much, but she's a little shorter than me. My dad, on the other hand, is he's either 6 foot or 6'1".
Yeah, you really got the short end of that stick.
Yeah, no, really, I did get the short end of the stick in the height department.
At least you don't have a brother. That'd be really embarrassing if you had a little brother that got taller than you.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I think my youngest sister is going to end up taller than me.
How tall is she now?
I don't actually know, but she was big when she was born. She was like 7.5 pounds. She was big. She was a big baby.
Yeah, I don't.
And based off of at least my mom's history, my mom's younger sister is the tallest amongst the siblings.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I don't have any siblings, so I don't know how tall my siblings will have wound up. I know my mom is 5'11". Well, technically 5'10", but rounds up to 5'11".
I'm still shorter than that.
Yeah, my dad, well, my dad's weirdly shrinking now for some reason. Like, my dad's shrinking so much now, but my dad used to be 6'1". And then now I'm at 6'1". Still may have, I don't know if I'll have any inches left to go or not, because I mean, technically guys don't start growing until like age 25 or something, so it's possible I could still have an inch or two left to go.
I don't know. I've got a couple more years before age 25, and I feel like I've stopped growing 7 years ago.
You're a little bit unusual in that case, but I mean, so. even if I stop growing my heights, my final height's going to be 6'1", so. One of my grandfathers was 6'3", and the other one was 6'4", so I still may have an inch or two to go, or 3 to go, depending.
Yeah. But no, the car seat thing, to me, that's dumb.
Exactly.
I mean, even for tall people, it's not that hard.
No. Exactly.
My dad was able to buckle me just fine.
I'll bet you even Shaquille O'Neal could buckle his kids just fine if he had them. I don't actually know if he ever did or not.
Yeah, it's more excuses about why people try to cope with their bigger, oversized crossovers. And realistically, if you are trying to focus on a family vehicle, I'd consider a minivan.
Or if your family's, especially if your family's 4 people or less, or even if it's 5 people or less, honestly, you could still get by in a sedan just fine.
Yeah.
Which, again, the average family only has 2 kids, and of course...
Well, I should also point out, too, you're so concerned about being able to buckle your kids in, then why don't you own a minivan? And the reason I say this is because when you're parked in a tight spot, like, say, in a parking spot between 2 cars, you gotta be a little conscious about how far you can open that door.
Yes! And not only that...
It is not a problem in a van. At all. It never is a problem in a van.
And not only that, but you also gotta be... But also, I mean, you're so worried about getting your kids buckled up, but if you get in an accident in an SUV, you're flipping over probably. No.
Very likely. Yes.
Not in a minivan or sedan, though. Or a wagon.
Well, a van would be more likely...
Probably a van.
A van has a stronger possibility to. Primarily just because it's a bigger, heavier vehicle, even though vans do tend to have less ground clearance compared to crossovers. So, yes, their center of gravity is a little lower. It's just...
Okay, so they still have a higher part. They still have a higher probability.
Yeah. They're still going to have a higher likelihood over a sedan.
But still, a sedan's... I'll bet you minivans are safer than crossovers.
Yes. But it's not by a little, it's by a lot.
And of course, with sedan... And of course, the average family has like 2 kids on average. How about when you factor in split parents? Too. That's another thing that they often don't factor in. Like around 40% of first-time marriages in the United States fail due to divorce.
That's
sad. Oh
yes,
it totally is.
That is so sad. Because think of all those kids.
Oh yes, I'd take...
That have to put up with that.
Exactly.
You're lucky that it didn't happen to you until your later years.
Well, also it happened to me because it kind of had to. A lot of times couples get divorced because they don't have to, even though if they don't have to.
So. But, yeah, that's a bit... I'm so baffled by those those people trying to tell me that sedans are worse than crossovers. The only thing that they will especially never budge on is the ride height thing and the king of the road position, and it's
only time that might be useful is like if you're really old and your back is unable to easily get in and out of sedan, which even then that's still not impossible, but that's not the majority of people.
Yeah, and then there's the reason why I bought my crossover. It wasn't because I wanted one.
It was because of a winter vehicle, but again, I don't know how far north you need to go in the United States before you need a winter vehicle.
I'd base it off of your snowfall.
Okay, that's true. That's probably a better fact to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't really base it off of how far north you are because I'm in the weird position because of Lake Superior. We have lake effect. And because I have to deal with lake effect, we get a crap ton of snow. Meanwhile, if you head a little further west into Minnesota, I mean, yeah, it gets brutally cold there, especially the further north you go, but they don't get the lake effect like we do, and so the amount of snowfall they get, it's not as problematic. It can get problematic, but it's still not as problematic as it is here in the UP. Here in the UP, no, we often get blizzards where we deal with feet of snow in like 4 hours. So, but wrong way.
Now you shouldn't have to think about snow until October, probably.
Actually, no. The snow really doesn't become problematic until after December. It doesn't become problematic until January.
Huh.
I mean, we get the snowfall starting at the end of October, though it typically doesn't stay. It doesn't stay until November. But even then, the snowfalls that we get in November and December, they don't even compare to what we get in January and February. Those are our worst months.
Yeah, January and February are obviously our worst months too. But again, the worst we get is like 5 inches, and that's like every third or fourth year.
Yeah, we will get like I think our worst was just a hair over 20.
It's almost 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, it got bad. And then there's the drifting. Oh, the drifting is awful.
And it's still an expectation that you guys usually have to go to work and such in your snow. If we get any more than an inch or two of snow, everything, then basically society pauses.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. In order for businesses to close, we have to get. It's usually around 12 inches. If we hit a foot, that's when we. And it has to be in a short period of time too, because if it's a foot overnight, that's not enough. If it's a foot in 4 hours, okay, now we're talking. So. No, we don't often have business closures due to snow. As annoying as that is.
Well, to be fair, businesses would constantly be closed if you closed due to snow.
Yeah. And we still got to operate. And thankfully, at least for some work that I can do some work from home now, actually.
Wow.
Although I have yet to... Well, no, I've done it once. I've only worked from home once. And that was for some IT stuff, trying to get that set up. But, no, it is so nice that I can actually properly remote into the server at work from home.
I get it.
So I can do all of my computer work from here.
So do you often go home to do your computer work now?
No, that's primarily because, the one who does the most computer work is the boss.
Well, I get that.
So he will actually work from home more than me. But because I'm second in command, that means I'm also a supervisor. And so I need to be there as much as possible when supervising.
I mean, I get that because working from home can be kind of tedious and distracting at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that I have my nice 32-inch monitors and my Dell XPS is compatible with my Thunderbolt dock. And now, thanks to the fact that we have Starlink, our internet's never been better. So, yeah, it's actually quite nice that I can do it. And I've debated getting a dedicated graphics card for the tower next to me. And potentially installing SolidWorks on that and using that as a CAD machine because... I mean, my XPS can handle it, yes, but it's just barely. So.
Well, that sounds nice and intriguing and all, but I believe it is time for us to conclude the show now.
Oh yeah, my Mac just went into dark mode.
So, and it's still light where you are. It's still light where I am too, though. As all, it's very rarely light at the end of a TIFP episode. But as always, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Mack from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf
As always,
from the Random
we'll
Alpha.
See you all hopefully next week with some hopefully good news about price decreases, but probably not. But we'll see you then.
Yeah.